Hey, Cowboys Nation. This is Cowboys Wire News, your home for breaking news, smart analysis, rumors, and film room insights. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a snap. Let's talk America's team. The NFL world is buzzing, and if you've been following the latest whispers coming out of Dallas, there's a storm brewing in the Cowboys secondary. Patrick Surtain, too, widely regarded as one of the most talented cornerbacks in the league, is reportedly stepping into the role of CB1 for this season, and sources close to the team suggest that this move could redefine what it means to have an elite defensive backfield. Imagine a player with lockdown skills, impeccable instincts, and the rare ability to read quarterbacks like an open book, suddenly being the centerpiece of one of the NFL's most storied franchises. The chatter among analysts and insiders is that Surtain's ascension to CB1 status isn't just a natural progression, but a strategic pivot by the Cowboys coaching staff, who have been quietly restructuring their defense around his unique talents. Fans on social media are already speculating about the matchups, envisioning Surtain shadowing top receivers week after week, effectively neutralizing some of the league's biggest offensive threats. The Cowboys have been historically cautious with announcing internal depth chart changes, but multiple sources insist that this isn't a rumor. They claim Surtain's status as the primary cornerback is solidified behind closed doors. If these reports hold true, we might be witnessing the birth of a dominant secondary that could shift the balance of power in the NFC East and beyond, as quarterbacks who once felt comfortable stretching the field may now hesitate when Surtain is lurking across from them. Adding to the excitement is the synergy reportedly developing between Surtain and the rest of the Cowboys' defensive backfield, a factor that insiders say could turn this unit into one of the league's most feared secondaries. Every team in the NFL understands that cornerbacks with Surtain's range and anticipation don't come around often, and the Cowboys appear determined to maximize his impact. Coaches are said to be designing schemes that allow him to play both man and zone seamlessly, giving the defense a level of versatility that could create confusion for opposing quarterbacks on a weekly basis. Teammates are reportedly energized by the prospect of working alongside a player of his caliber, with locker room sources hinting that morale has spiked after seeing Surtain take on this leadership role. Even veteran analysts who usually remain skeptical about early season projections are beginning to acknowledge that this could be a transformational move for Dallas. The rumor mill emphasizes not just his on-field abilities, but his off-field discipline and football IQ, which are said to be key factors in earning the trust required for the CB1 position. While no official depth chart has yet been released to the public, multiple insiders point to film sessions and practice reports as evidence that Surtain is already being treated as the primary shutdown corner, with coaches challenging him to cover top-tier receivers during high-pressure drills. If he performs as expected, this move could redefine the Cowboys' defensive identity, forcing opponents to rethink game plans and potentially influencing the trajectory of the entire season. Sources close to the Cowboys organization are reportedly buzzing about the implications of Surtain stepping into this central role. Conversations with scouts and analysts suggest that his combination of athleticism, technique, and mental acuity gives him the ability to consistently win one-on-one matchups, a critical skill for any CB1. It's the kind of situation where rumors start with whispers, but the underlying evidence makes it nearly impossible to ignore. The speculation intensifies when insiders point to preseason film showing Surtain making adjustments on the fly, communicating seamlessly with safeties, and anticipating routes in ways that suggest he's not just talented but exceptional. Fans are dissecting every clip available, debating his technique, and projecting which receivers he will likely face during crucial divisional matchups. Meanwhile, talk shows and podcasts are amplifying the buzz, with hosts theorizing how the Cowboys might use Surtain's presence to shift defensive schemes toward more aggressive coverages and complex blitz packages. The rumor isn't just about an individual achievement, it's about a broader tactical evolution. If Dallas can fully harness Surtain as CB1, it could signal a departure from traditional defensive approaches, essentially allowing the team to dictate the pace and style of games from the secondary outward. Analysts suggest that quarterbacks may begin to alter their reads preemptively, knowing that Surtain's coverage ability could disrupt timing, route combinations, and even overall offensive confidence. All of this has fans and insiders alike whispering about the possibility of an elite secondary that could rival the best units in recent NFL history, making Surtain's rumored promotion one of the most intriguing storylines entering the new season. The excitement isn't limited to internal reports or social media speculation. The ripple effects of Surtain assuming CB1 responsibilities are being felt across the league. Rival teams reportedly have their eyes on film, attempting to anticipate how Dallas intends to deploy him. The rumor mill highlights that Surtain's presence could force offensive coordinators to rethink their strategies entirely, possibly moving away from deep threats in favor of quick passes and screen plays to mitigate his impact. Analysts suggest that this defensive recalibration may create opportunities for other Cowboys players, such as safeties and linebackers, to capitalize on turnovers and coverage mistakes that simply won't happen against a top-tier cornerback like Surtain. The narrative emerging from these whispers paints a picture of a defense that could dictate terms, pressuring opposing quarterbacks into uncomfortable situations while simultaneously creating opportunities for explosive plays in transition. Some insiders are even speculating that Surtain's influence could extend beyond the field, impacting draft priorities and free agency strategies as Dallas looks to build around a cornerstone they trust implicitly. This buzz is feeding a growing sense of anticipation among fans, who are envisioning highlight reels, key interceptions, and clutch moments that could define games and seasons. The rumor itself, while unconfirmed officially, is so pervasive that even casual observers are beginning to acknowledge the potential significance of Surtain's rumored role, creating an atmosphere of heightened expectation for what could be a truly elite defensive season. Interestingly, the chatter surrounding Surtain's CB1 status also delves into his physical and mental preparation, which insiders claim is next level. Sources suggest that his off-season regimen, film study, and one-on-one mentorship sessions with veteran cornerbacks have all contributed to a level of readiness that few can match. Analysts are theorizing that this combination of preparation and natural talent positions him not just as a shutdown corner, but as a strategic leader who can influence coverage schemes on the fly. The rumor mill emphasizes the significance of Surtain's ability to read offenses pre-snap, anticipate route adjustments, and communicate effectively with teammates, all of which are critical for a player stepping into a CB1 role. Social media debates have exploded around his potential matchups against top receivers in the NFC East, with fans passionately discussing how he might neutralize threats week after week. Podcast hosts speculate that his presence could enable creative defensive packages, giving Dallas flexibility to disguise coverages and create mismatches that exploit opponents' weaknesses. The underlying message circulating among insiders is that Surtain's rumored role as CB1 isn't simply about individual glory. It's about shaping the identity and performance of an entire defense, elevating the team's competitive edge while inspiring confidence across the roster. This ongoing buzz reinforces the narrative that Dallas may have found not just a talented cornerback, but a cornerstone for a secondary with the potential to be truly elite. And that story is generating excitement that shows no signs of slowing down. Finally, the rumors extend beyond performance alone, hinting at broader implications for team dynamics and morale. Insider reports suggest that Surtain's emergence as CB1 has sparked a renewed sense of purpose among defensive teammates, with younger players reportedly learning from his preparation, focus, and leadership on and off the field. Analysts are speculating that this could have a ripple effect, enhancing overall team cohesion and creating a culture of accountability that extends from the defensive backfield to the front seven. Coaches are said to be excited about the possibilities, viewing Surtain's presence as a catalyst for implementing more complex schemes that leverage his skills while challenging other players to elevate their own performances. Even rival teams are reportedly taking notice, acknowledging that the Cowboys' secondary could now be a decisive factor in close games and playoff scenarios. Social media chatter underscores the fan anticipation, with highlight reels, speculation threads, and tactical analyses dominating discussion boards. The buzz also touches on Surtain's character and professionalism, reinforcing the idea that this isn't just a hype story, but a substantive shift in the defensive landscape of Dallas. Taken together, these rumors suggest a transformative period for the Cowboys, with Patrick Surtain II at the center, potentially redefining what it means to have an elite, shutdown secondary in today's NFL, while igniting a wave of excitement, debate, and speculation that will likely dominate conversations as the season unfolds. The speculation surrounding Patrick Surtain II as the Cowboys CB1 continues to grow, and insiders suggest that his presence could alter the way opponents plan their passing attacks significantly. Sources close to team practices report that Surtain is not only excelling in coverage, but also constantly communicating adjustments to fellow defensive backs, which is generating whispers that he may be evolving into a true field general. The buzz indicates that his impact could go beyond just shutting down top receivers, influencing play calling, and providing a level of stability and confidence that the Cowboys secondary has not consistently enjoyed in recent years. Analysts are already dissecting preseason footage, noting his precise footwork, ability to mirror receivers, and remarkable instincts that allow him to anticipate passes before they are thrown. Fans online are theorizing about hypothetical matchups against elite wideouts, debating how Surtain's coverage could force quarterbacks into uncharacteristic mistakes, resulting in turnovers or negative plays. Podcasters and social media personalities are weighing in, speculating that if these rumors prove accurate, the Cowboys' defense could become the backbone of a team that was already dangerous on offense. There's even talk that Surtain's emergence might inspire adjustments to the front seven, creating blitz packages and disguised coverage schemes specifically designed to leverage his talents while confusing quarterbacks. In essence, the rumor is painting a picture of a defensive transformation, where Patrick Surtain II is not merely a cornerback, but a pivotal piece capable of redefining Dallas' identity as a team that can dominate on both sides of the ball, changing the dynamics of matchups and potentially setting the stage for a season full of dramatic, high-stakes moments that keep fans, analysts, and opponents guessing week after week, fueling speculation that his role as CB1 is as consequential as anyone could imagine. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. Beyond his technical skills, the chatter around Surtain emphasizes his preparation, leadership, and football IQ, which insiders claim make him uniquely qualified for the CB1 designation. Multiple sources note that his off-season film study and one-on-one sessions with veteran cornerbacks have honed his instincts to near perfection, allowing him to anticipate route combinations and quarterback tendencies with uncanny accuracy. Analysts speculate that this combination of talent, discipline, and preparation allows him to function not just as a lockdown corner, but as a strategic linchpin capable of altering game plans on the fly. The rumor mill is filled with reports that coaches are increasingly trusting him to make split-second decisions that dictate coverage assignments, creating an atmosphere in which the rest of the secondary can play with confidence, knowing Surtain will adjust when necessary. Social media buzz underscores this narrative, with fans eagerly discussing how he might neutralize elite receivers week after week, projecting him as a disruptive force in the NFC East. Some insiders even suggest that rival teams are beginning to account for Surtain in pre-game planning, hinting that his presence alone could change how offensive coordinators approach Dallas. The conversation is not limited to his ability to cover. It extends to how his CB1 role could foster an environment of accountability and leadership, inspiring younger players to elevate their games and solidifying the Cowboys' defensive identity as a unit built around intelligence, anticipation, and elite skill, all centered on Surtain's rumored promotion to the top corner position, fueling ongoing debate about whether this move could transform Dallas into a defensive powerhouse capable of competing with any team in the league. Rumors also suggest that Patrick Surtain II's emergence as CB1 might have significant implications for the team's draft strategy and future roster decisions. According to insiders, coaches and front office personnel are reportedly considering ways to build around his presence, emphasizing the importance of complementary safeties and linebackers who can capitalize on opportunities created by his coverage. Analysts are speculating that his ability to lock down top receivers could allow the Cowboys to deploy more aggressive schemes elsewhere on the field, including blitzes, disguised coverages, and complex zone rotations designed to pressure quarterbacks into mistakes. Social media chatter underscores this point, with fans debating whether the presence of a dominant CB1 could lead to a more balanced and adaptable defensive identity for Dallas, where certain skills influence both the micro and macro aspects of game planning. Sources close to the team suggest that his leadership in practice has already inspired confidence among teammates, creating a culture where accountability, preparation, and tactical awareness are increasingly emphasized. The rumor mill emphasizes that SURTAIN is being groomed not just as a shutdown corner, but as a cornerstone, someone whose influence extends beyond individual matchups and directly impacts the defensive philosophy of the team. Analysts speculate that if he continues to progress, his presence might even alter opponent strategies preemptively, forcing them to adjust game plans before they ever step onto the field, a level of impact few cornerbacks in the modern NFL achieve. This rumor is generating excitement not only for what it means this season, but for the long-term implications of having a player whose role as CB1 could fundamentally change the trajectory of Dallas defense, creating a new standard for elite secondaries across the league, while fans eagerly debate, theorize, and anticipate the full effects of his presence on the field, further fueling speculation about a potentially historic defensive unit. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.